Hello, everyone. Hope you're all having a happy Sunday and a good weekend. I am enjoying lovely weather this weekend. I went on a really long walk yesterday and now I'm tired. Well, not still tired, but I was definitely tired at the end of yesterday. I'm going to leave us on the starting soon screen here for a little bit because there is some behind the scenes work that I want to show you before we actually get into the game. Because as noted in the title for today, I have done some note taking and some rethinking and kind of put myself more in that use the spreadsheet mode rather than the just feel it out mode, because I am realizing that that is in fact necessary for this game. So, give it a bit here. But yeah, lots of sunshine this weekend. Yesterday it was kind of at that place where when the clouds aren't blocking the sun, you really don't need a jacket. But then when the clouds come back, you're glad you brought one. Usual northwest weepy there, on and off. Ah. Yeah, it was pretty yesterday. I there was one place I went where someone asked me if I knew, like, if there was anything special going on because it seemed kind of busy. And I didn't know of anything, and I didn't say so specifically, but I was thinking, well, it's this place on a Saturday with nice weather. Of course it's going to be busy. Though, considering what the last few years have been like, maybe all of our memories of how busy a place is supposed to be have all gotten thrown out of whack. Let's see, got my tea, got my notes. I'm going to dig up another better paper notepad here. Oh my goodness. All these random things I've used this notebook for. Okay, because this is a game where they show you things on one screen and then you don't see them again unless you go back, but that takes time. So before I get started, let me show you what I've been working on. Specifically, this. And there we go. So I went back into our save file and I went over to Quinn's shop and I just took note of everything that they had there. And went over to the Adventurers Guild and found all the stats I could for everything I could find there. Basically, everything I have seen thus far in the game. And did a little tiny bit of experimenting with something else that we'll get to. But basically, I have a list now of everything I've seen, all the ingredients, and I've basically sorted them by what magimins are in them. So I've got categories of things that have a single ingredient, things that have specific mixes of ingredients and what those are useful for. For example, there's something that I found during my experimenting, which we'll get to, that actually has part of a poison cure if we mix it with something else. So that's what that's useful for. So far we've got things that have just A, B, and C. We've got some things that make all or most of certain combinations by themselves. And then we've got some of this really high-powered stuff is not actually useful for anything yet. One of the problems I was having last week was the problem that we were saying, well, we're finally finding some things that have D and E in them, but they were mixed with other stuff that's not useful yet. And that's part of what got me thinking that there must be some items I've skipped that are better sources of D, especially, that are mixed with things that are more useful. So I've got that all sorted out. And one of the notes I took also is, what is Quinn's daily limit for these things? If you go to Quinn's shop, how much of each thing do they have available per purchase per day? Because what that tells us is, if they've got a limit of 10 for something, like the manworm root, that tells me this is something that we're meant to use often, that we're meant to use a lot of. If it's something where they've only got a limit of 2, that's where I need to make sure that I save it really for the times when I need something good, like for the competitions. I've also got the base cost and the cost per magamin, which is a little bit less useful, but you can start to identify patterns like the fairy flower bulb only has 4 of A. It's got a very high cost per magamin, but it's because it also comes with a good aroma trait. So I've also got that all here. So when I put it all in a list like this, it's a lot easier to tell what I actually want to focus on. It's a lot easier to tell what I should actually be buying, what I should be looking for, what ingredients I should be caring about, and what I'm actually able to make with the things that are currently available to me. I've also got a tab here with just what the potions require, which was just useful to have on hand. So getting all this together was really helpful just to get my thoughts in order. Some of these I don't know the prices for because I haven't seen them at Quinn's shop yet, or because when I went there, they were on sale, so I don't necessarily... I'm sure I could calculate the actual base cost, but I'd rather just wait and see it. What does the type column tell us? Type says what's the source of this ingredient, or not the location of where it comes from. I should make a note of the source, because that matters too. That tells us where we want to send mint, for example. But this tells us some things come from flowers, some things are fruits, some things are slimes, because there are sometimes modifiers on the cost of particular items, and the game is really good about showing us when a cost is higher or lower than usual. But I figured it was just good to put it in the table, because why not? So, armed with this knowledge, that was kind of what then pushed me to try something else, which was I basically realized/remembered that you don't necessarily need to have Mint finish an entire adventure to bring stuff back. Even if she only completes part of it, she'll bring something back. And so what I did was I went to an older save file, tried sending her to the mushroom mire, which I had thus far shied away from because I didn't have a poison cure to give her. But she got only partway through, but she still came back with at least 1 ghost light bloom, and this is part of the components that you need for a poison cure. This is not something we'd found before. This has D in a good ratio with other stuff to make a poison cure. So, now that we have all this, and I also have this in my phone, so it's a little easier for us to find, now I'm going to actually fire up the game proper. Because I think we could all tell during last week that after the competition, I was kind of flailing because I hadn't found that ghost light bloom yet. Goes on a quest but keeps returning mid-quest. No, she'll go out questing, not finish the whole thing, but still bring back what she found up to that point. So basically it just means I don't have to be a perfectionist necessarily about only sending her if she can finish that whole course. It'll make more sense once we get in there. So I think it's obvious to us all, I kind of didn't have a good plan after the competition last time. I was not budgeting time well because I didn't really have a good plan or a sense of direction because there were those pieces I was missing. Like, if she didn't have enough stuff from me to get through the whole course and the test run failed, yes, as long as she kills at least some of the monsters in there and brings back some things, then we get that stuff from her. It won't kill her. So, what I would like to do, actually, is go into autosaves and go to the morning of day 11. This is right after the competition. So we're basically, I want to rewind the last few days because I don't think I played the last few days very well. And with this that I now know, I think we can do a lot better, and there's a much lower chance of us playing through the whole rest of this 10-day chunk and crashing and burning. So this is where I'm going. Yeah, we're not sending her to her death or even a refusal. She'll just come back with only a few things instead of an entire dungeon's worth. So, we are back to the morning of day 11. It is the day after the first competition. There may be some upgrades and relationship upgrades that I got during the last stream, which have not happened yet, so I'm gonna first take stock of where we are. But I just think that losing the time for those next couple of days has probably harmed me a lot. If nothing else, it's going to bother me the entire time, and I don't want to play that way. So, here we are. Okay, so, events for today. No Mire bats. An infestation of nimble-fingered, covetous Mire bats has led to a decrease in supplies of bugs, fish, and glittering gems. So, that's why type is important. Race for the Cures, a sporting event to raise awareness of uncommon ailments, has proven a little too successful, prompting the public to seek cures for every possible condition. Increased value for cures. It's too bad we can't make those poison cures, huh? And Save the Heroes. Following the untimely death of a curse-inflicted hero, some vocal citizens are shaming any non-hero who takes a cure potion off the market. So, well, cures is balanced out. I remember this happening last time. I don't know if these are scripted or if this was... I'm sure this was determined before I saved the game. Or at least before the autosave fired. So this is probably the same as before. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at. It's early morning. Those are our 3 events. We don't have our basement yet because that event hasn't happened yet. So let's look at what we're doing. It looks like we've just got the one cauldron because we probably haven't met Saffron yet, so we haven't been able to expand. And that's another thing I want to do is make better use of Saffron this time. I need to cultivate the practice of visiting everyone whenever I go to town. So, let's see what we've got here. We've got our cauldrons. I want to see how advanced that one is. We might have upgraded it all the way. We've got our clay cauldron. Can't do much with this right now. In terms of our special shelves, we don't have the nice one that I bought last time. We just have the mushroom mire shelf, but we can work on that later. Okay. The common sight enhancer. Increase the chance that your hero will retrieve extra loot from any monster or hazard by 15%. I want to make sure to give Mint one of these when we send her to the mushroom mire, because especially if she's only doing a short run, I really want to make sure we unlock whatever ingredients she finds in there. If you're just joining us, we have rewound a few days because I took some time poring over my strategy, essentially. Let's see what we got here. Set them up, reel them in. Closing out scheme, pump up, meditate. Those are all good. Oh, let's see. Here's one that we haven't used yet. Choose a card in your hand to duplicate. That's interesting, but... Oh, okay. So we have Shock Factor. We got that. We have Pump Up. Okay, we have met Saffron. Okay, good. Keep your guard up. Raises interest by 8, plus you gain 3 shield. That's all good. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Do we only have one? Yes, we only have... Okay, we have a couple copies of Press the Attack. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. You have any custom orders? No, I think one of them ran out during the competition day. But that doesn't matter too much. Oh, this is still brewing. Interesting. Okay. Our glass cauldron has been upgraded as much as we can. Okay, so we... Interesting. I think what that tells us is that we can't brew things through a competition day. No brewing time happens on that day. But that's fine. That gives us one chunk of time to go out traveling. In fact, I'm gonna take this shelf with me just in case Muktuk can do something with it. Because I definitely want to send Mint out there post-haste. So let's head out. Okay, so we can talk to Saffron. Roxanne isn't available yet, but that's okay. Bought something from her by mistake last time. Rather not do that again. Let's go visit Baptiste first and see what he has for us. As the island opens up, so do new expeditions. Yes, okay, so... okay, some of this is stuff I have not seen before. So that means I need to take some notes. Okay, this is A and E. I'm sure that's useful for something, but I'm not going to sit and... Well, I guess I can sit and sort my stuff a little bit, but let me... I've only got so many screens. This is... sea salt. It's got 30 of A and 10 of E, no special effects. I don't know what it's... I don't know if this is the actual base price of it. It might be. But I'll know for sure when I see it in Quinn's shop. And this is a mineral. I want words phone. Oh, there we go. I'm editing a spreadsheet on my phone, which is not the best experience ever. And this is from the ocean coasts. Let's put that as coast. There we go. Okay, also from the ocean coast, we have the mandragon root. Like a mandrake, but more so. Don't auto-correct me. There's not supposed to be a space there. Okay, and this has 30 of B, no special effects, which makes a lot of sense because that's what the lesser variants are like as well. That's a plant from the coasts. And I think I took a note of this before. Bogeyberry. Or maybe I didn't. Yes, I did. I took a note of that before. Okay. Alright, well let's, fearsome, but my people can handle it. Alright, and that's, oh, I should note that it's from the storm ones. Because I wasn't making a note of sources before. Okay, well, let's invest a bit in each of these. They'll come back with quite a tale. I'm sure they will. Alright, now let's talk to Mint. This'll be the really interesting thing. There's still sand in my boots, but I showed that desert who's boss. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Do we ever get to hear those tales? I don't know. You know I'm game. Okay, so this is the interesting bit. So we've got these new places that we could send her. But here's the Mushroom Mire, which we've never really sent her to because I was always thinking that we should have a poison cure first. But I think we're gonna need for her to gather the materials here before we can even make the poison cure to send her. So let's try giving her just a little bit of assistance and a sight enhancer to gather more loot. Now let's test. Even the hardiest tank is vulnerable to poison. Have anything for that? No, not yet. You will need this health potion, otherwise you'd be at 0 already. And you do need the mana potion to get this far. The sight enhancer will help with getting more loot from this, which I really want because it's a short. Well, it's kind of sad to spend this on an incomplete run, but I'm kind of desperate for whatever she's gonna find. So Please head out. That'll take 3 time slots. I'll report back ASAP. Okay. I'm going to make a note that we are waiting for Mint for 3 time slots. Alright, let's see what's going on at Muktuk's place. Now, we've heard so far about increasing the number of customers. So far, that hasn't been an issue because we only ever get 3, and we only ever have 3 potions to set out anyway. So I think that's going to start being more important once we have the space to set out more goods. Let's see, you can make some more cauldrons. Oh, we don't need anything special for that. Same for the ocean cauldron. So if we wanted to invest in a nicer cauldron that could store even more Magimans, that's good to know that these don't use any special materials yet. So I'll just make a note that it would be $225 for another good cauldron. We kind of have a... It's not much of a... Well, there's sort of a trade-off here. Ocean cauldron versus shadow. Do you want it to hold more ingredients versus having slightly more Magiman capacity? Okay, in terms of shelves, now I know that before we got one of these Ocean Coast shelves. 10% price increase, additional 5% for tonics. It would be really nice to have a good showcase shelf too. Additional 5% for tonics. Ooh, we're getting to 15% increases there. Ocean Coast's showcase. We don't have what's needed for those yet. Storm Plains shelf, Ocean Coast shelf. Those need special ingredients. While we're here, let's get a Bone Wastes showcase. Because we have the materials for that. A superb choice. Do I want the Ocean Coast shelf too? Or maybe the Storm Plains shelf? Yeah, let's go for this. These are multipliers on our sell prices, so we actually want to start applying them early. Your business, it is appreciated. Dude, we have got to introduce you to movie Knuckles at some point. Okay, shelf upgrades. So if we had materials, we could upgrade these right away. Ooh, increase the capacity. And mushrooms we might be able to just get from Saffron. Okay, so I'm gonna write this down. Mushroom, Mire, shelf plus is 70 gold and 1 mushroom. And Stormplane's shelf. Now, you may be wondering, Vanya, why don't you just go look at the wiki? I could do that, but then I'd risk seeing a bunch of other things that I have no business knowing about yet. I don't want to do that. Thunderlog, okay. Okay, Muktuk, we may come back to you after visiting with Saffron. Do not be intimidated by beauty. Okay, well let's go see Saffron. With your departure, the fire dims. Aww. I have new goods for sale. Excellent. I think you have... Yes, you have the mushrooms I wanted. Lovely. Let's get a few of those. We've got a good amount of these. Let's get a little more hay, just because. Cactus, we've got some because Mint brought it back. I trust you brought your own bag? Okay, now... Okay, I do want to expand the brewing area. 1 upgrade is available per day. We could go for either of these. Let's go for the brewing area first. You'll hardly recognize it when I'm done. Okay, excellent. Now that we have those mushrooms, let's go back to Muktuk. Have a blessed day. May I be of service? Yes, you can upgrade one of my shelves. A superb choice. And with 2 pluses, we'd need a mud shrimp. I think we could just get that from Quinn. To Quinn's place. I do not like goodbyes. Ah, it's fine. Apparently, there's a specific word in Inuit for when you're so eager to see someone who's going to come to visit that you keep checking outside to see if they've arrived yet. I forget what that word is, but they have a word for it, which is the most awesome thing ever. Let's give you the rotfly cocoon. Orb. Watch your fingers. Okay. Now it's time to pour over the notes. See, look at this. I can't see at a glance what anything is. Notes. Alright, so let's see what we've got in the way of things that are just A. Some things are more expensive than they should be. Right now it's pretty much just the small stuff that's cheap. Now, even if we start graduating to the more powerful ingredients, the fey berries and such still have their use for, like, fine-tuning ratios, and in some cases, imparting traits, like the fairy flower bulb, so we don't want to we don't want to totally disregard those. And yeah, this is twice as expensive as it should be. In terms of stuff that's just B, we don't have the reef radish yet. We do have bog beets, which have interesting blends of things. Let's look for the stuff that'll actually make specific potions. Because these with the mixtures, you get more magimans per ingredient if you do it this way. So let's buy up all your leech snail shells. And all your river pixie shells. I think got a good number of those in our inventory, but I think this will be a good thing to have on hand. How about things that are B and C? Those are mostly expensive at the moment, but we can get some figment palms. Oh, that's right. I wanted to see if you had... Oh, well, never mind. Do you have any of those mud shrimp? Yes, but it's expensive. So let's not go for that upgrade today. That's the stuff that's B and C. How about the stuff that's A and C? The Kappa pheromones. Yeah, I was using a good amount of those. We're using A and C's for the fire tonic. We need other stuff for those other things. Now for the sight enhancers. It's good to have the stuff that has all three. Let's grab a couple of cubic oozes. We can play around with the ratios a bit, especially since it's not expensive today. Now, do we have... Yes, Golemite is available to us. That's for... That could be useful for a drowsiness cure. Let me look at that recipe. I had mislabeled this. Okay, yeah, we still need a good source of D by itself in order for that to be useful, so I don't want to stock up on that before we can make much use of it. I'm going to update my notes. Yeah. Okay. Those are a lot of the combinations I want to focus on. I could get some of these. I don't think we're going to use huge amounts of them. Might use lots of things that are just bee. Bog beets. That's got weird traits. Manworm roots are useful. We can get 10 of them. I also need to make sure I keep track of what Quinn's maximums are, because those probably also change as time goes on. We have some imp stool mushrooms. We have plenty of mandrake roots. Desert metal. Let's get some of those for their good properties. Why'd I get that instead of the troll stool mushroom? That was silly. These are the kinds of mistakes you make when you're not paying attention. In terms of things that are just C, the trihorn is powerful stuff. Tastes awful. But we can use some of those fairy blossoms to balance it out. Okay, I think that's all the shopping I want to do right now. Better than nothing. Hey, I bought a bunch of stuff from you, dude. Alright, that's kind of all I want to do for now. If I head home, then my potions will be done, so let's do that. How about that? I did a thing. Okay. Common health potions, well done. These are competition potions. Now, before we get to brewing, let's arrange our cauldrons. As well as our shelves. So here's a bigger shelf. Gives a nice bonus. Front and center there. In terms of cauldrons, clay cauldron can go in the back. Okay, that's everything that it needs to be. And let's do some brewing. So basically, it doesn't do me very much good to focus on the stuff with ingredient mixtures that I can't make yet. I know we can make sight enhancers at the moment. It might be good to make some of those. Not necessarily needing to be full powered yet. We've got a whole 10 days till the competition. But let's try and brew one. For example, if I throw a couple of these in here. And then I throw in something that's only got B in it. There we go. So 4 cubic oozes and the imp stool will get us what we need. But is it the best way? Let's see what else is an option. That's right, I don't have any strong sources of A right now. Six. Of A and C. We need just a little bit of B. Very stable. Not perfect. But that gets us to 3 and it gets us up to common. We need greater for the competition, but that's all right. We have plenty of time to get stronger ingredients. I don't want to throw in a slippery serpent's tongue. Let's not bother with that. Okay, so this isn't a perfect blend, but it's very stable. And it's bumped us up to common. And let's cut this down to brew in 2 time slots. Go. Now in the clay cauldron, what else shall we make? I feel like we're maybe going to want some mana potions. That's just B's and C's. All right. And Golem's Eye Diamond. Those are expensive at the moment. And they don't have a crazy high limit at Quinn's. About sack of hive slime. What are the limits on those? Quinn has a high limit on those. Oh, we're running into the Magiman limit, though, in this cauldron. Can't do it. Okay, we can put that in though. Okay. Let's add some fuel for that too. Okay. It takes a long time to get through a day when I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing. Alright, let's arrange our stuff, including showcase. So we've really got just the one tonic. We'll put that showcase there. Okay, we can now put 4 things on this shelf. Let's save the site enhancers. Okay, so we've set out 4 things. Let's open the shop. If this place is good enough for the local heroes, I'm into it. Make me an offer I can't refuse. I'll give you that deer in the headlights look first, though. Okay. Set him up. Pump up and set him up again. That doesn't stack, but it gives us something. You're just gonna be impatient, that's not so bad. Am I a customer or a hostage? I can see you're in a hurry. Okay, well let's... set him up. Pump up, and since we've got closing it out here, let's just do that. What a pleasant outcome. Okay, that was 1 customer. Step right up. Busy artisan, I'm afraid I don't have time for pleasantries. Let's make a deal, but best be quick about it. Alright. Irritability. Customer loses an additional 1 patience per turn. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Still got plenty left. I might as well be watching paint dry. Oh, come on, man. I'm listening. We're not going to have time for any more than that. We don't need to lose stress, so let's just close the deal on this. Okay, that was 2. Gotta run, but thanks. Thanks, come again. Who's next? Good to see you, I mean it. This looks pretty great if the price is right. Okay, well, let's set him up. Gotta get through some of your shield first. I want to ask if that's your natural hair color, but this transaction has gone on long enough. Okay, well, wow, we can use like all the real amends. and then just close the deal. And close it. Okay, that was 3. Thanks for your business. Who's next? It's Muktuk. Well met, Sylvia. This potion, you must tell me about it. Do not make me beg. A full hand of set-em-ups. Alright, well, let's throw them all in. He's a little impatient. Hopefully we'll get Captivate in our next draw. No. Okay, well we can use 2 Reel 'em Ins and close it out. Ah, that is a sound deal. Come back soon. That's all of them for now. Okay, so we did have 4 people come in, all right? All right. Let's get back to brewing. Okay, a great brew for the common sight enhancer. And in the clay cauldron, superb brew of common mana potions, okay. Well, let's see. We're still waiting on Mint to be able to make anything resembling a poison cure. Or anything else for that matter. So let's make some health potions and some fire tonics. How does that sound? You know, I could have sworn... No, we don't have much useful in those other regards yet. A's and C's. Right, we want to do this in the larger cauldron. About this in entirely the wrong way. Okay. Fire tonics. Go. And health potions, we can always use tons of those for adventuring. 77. Awkward amount. And if we got 6B. Oh, it overflows the management amount. There we go. Okay. So those things are brewing. And now we can head over and see Mint. And we would still need that shrimp for a better shelf, so we won't bother working on those. This Mint is back. Okay, got so close but had to turn back before the boss monster. You found Mushroom Mire Wall, Willen's Trihorn. You found a bunch of things that we kind of already have. Well, we'll just send you out again. Because we really, really, really need to unlock what we need to make those potions. You're gonna at least need some health. You're not gonna be able to get past here anyway. So no mana potion for you. Okay, that's another 3 slots. Let's swing by Saffron's and get more fuel, because I am using it a fair amount. The trees told me to expect you. Can't do any more carpentry today. Maybe swing by Quinn's again. Now, I do want to make sure I set something brewing overnight, so I don't want to spend the whole rest of the day out socializing. Actually, since we're running into Magimon limits, I might want to get better cauldrons for Muktuk. Whatever. Alright. Yeah, let's go for an ocean cauldron. It's yours and you won't regret it. Okay, well let's spend a little time to rank up our relationship. And then we'll be able to go home, bottle the potions, set something else brewing. I can make time for a fellow artist. Now I think this is the one we saw before. Yeah, okay. Rafta is indeed strange and delightful. Do not find it so. In all my many travels, I have seen no place like it. You've traveled a lot then? I have, but that is not so unusual for a walrus. Those of us who seek excellence, who pursue mastery in our chosen field, must undertake a great pilgrimage, and mine has brought me here. Tell me more. I don't know much about walrus culture. Then I shall be glad to teach you. My homeland is a remote place marked by its harsh climate. We are welcoming of outsiders, yet receive few visitors. And so we take it upon ourselves to send our best and brightest out into the larger world as emissaries and pilgrims. We travelers are charged with a great and holy purpose. We are meant to spread our expertise far and wide, to dedicate ourselves to service in foreign lands as a path to self-improvement and enlightenment. Some of us have devoted ourselves to medicine, some of us philosophy, while others have created artworks of such indescribable beauty you would weep to look upon them. And that's why you're here? To share your artistic talent? You are correct. My pilgrimage has brought me to Rafta's shores, and here I shall remain, until I have created a masterpiece. But to create something more remarkable than the land itself, this will be a challenge. People will tell you that Rafta is a wild place, chaotic. But in fact, the opposite is true, for this island was built with intention. It was shaped by the hand of a powerful witch. Maven carved out the mountains, she charted the course of the rivers. The very flora and fauna have their origins in her lab. Now, earlier I had said she had a god complex. Let's see what happens if we say she had the right idea. She had the right idea. I see the appeal of having a whole island to play with. I do as well, for the grander the canvas, the greater the impact. This then is what Rafta means to me. It is a living artwork. Upon its every surface I see the mark of its maker. I like a guy who knows what he likes. You're very passionate, aren't you? I cannot hide my enthusiasm for such topics, and I think that I should not try. Enthusiasm is like love or beauty. It is not diminished when it is shared. Enthusiasm raised interest by 16. I'll try to remember that when I'm back at the shop. Routine can make it difficult, I know, but we must do all we can to muster enthusiasm for the beauty that is all around us. This is what travel teaches us in the end, to look around with hungry eyes, to truly see a place, and to find joy in all that is different and strange and new. Okay. Oh, he has different music for the evening. I really like that. It's not quite so bombastic. But let's see. We sent out Baptiste dudes earlier. Yep, it's still day 11, so let's head back to the shop. You are very busy, I understand. So we gotta empty out our cauldrons, swap in the new one, and then we can get to brewing again. And we have 3 slots to work with because we have overnight. Perfect brew for that fire tonic. Health potion. Greater health potion. Okay, let's shuffle our cauldrons. Oh. We also have a mushroom mire wall. Oh, okay. If we want to do more Tudor style half timbering, sure, that looks good. Okay. So this holds 8 ingredients, max Magimans 240 versus the glass cauldron's 200. Yeah, and that'll beat out the clay cauldron in all respects. Yeah. Muktuk's test cauldron. It's a cauldron only Muktuk can lift. How'd I swap it out then? I guess I must have just dragged it. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do here. That's right, we have some of these octopuses now. And I think I've seen Quinn selling these already. $12, $18. Actually, let's see what we can do about balancing out the swamp octopus with a couple imp stool mushrooms. It won't be a perfect ratio anymore. I'm not sure that's quite optimal when you get down to it. Oh, there's desert metal. That's a little convoluted. But yeah, we'll just add a little bit of fuel because we only need to get it down to 3. What else? could go for... Let's just pile up some more mana potions, really. We can always use health and mana potions to send with mint. We have anything that's got 12 of C. Of C. Yeah, 18. 18. Okay, let's get that down to 3. Okay. Whew. All right, well, that settles that. And Quinn's stock won't reset till tomorrow, so I think we're ready to end the day. Unless we want to swing by the deck builder. Looks like you were making 7-Up. Oh dear. That's some kind of potion, isn't it? Enthusiasm. Raise interest by 16 for a cost of 3 patience. Versus Reel 'em in, which is a base of 7 for 2 patience. So what we could do is start switching away from a set 'em up, reel 'em in build to a pump up an enthusiasm build. Let's try that. Okay, let's end the day. Hopefully we can visit Mint in the morning. Did I forget to lock up again? Ah, yes. This is going to be Roxanne, isn't it? Yes. Well, if it isn't the champion of Rafta. Roxanne, what are you doing here? Take the owl, not me! Alright, we did see this last time, but it's fun, so we'll play it again. I have to say, winning that competition doesn't seem to have turned things around much. If this is the state of things after a victory, one has to wonder what rock bottom would look like. Are you serious right now with the insults? How many times do I have to beat you before you finally lose the ego? You think keeping my chin up in the face of adversity is a flaw? Darling, it's my greatest strength. Well, second greatest. And so you know, I've lost more than you realize. Letting my mask drop felt exhilarating in the moment, but I'm paying the price for it now. Therefore, after great deliberation, I've decided to take you up on your offer. My offer? Of help, yes. Oh, right. You want, like, a discount, or... What I need for the time being is a place to stay, and I noticed your basement is going unused. I have a basement? Didn't you know? There's a trapdoor beneath the rug over there. I really like this genuinely surprised face of hers. Like, there's no malice in this face. She's just genuinely, sincerely surprised. You must have noticed the creaky, uneven floorboards. And then she's back to her mask. I chalked it up to shoddy workmanship. That didn't feel like much of a stretch. Psst, Owl, you didn't think to mention that we have a basement? Your uncle was expanding, but the workers quit when they struck lava. So it isn't finished. Also, as mentioned, there's lava. And anyway, I've had other things on my mind. I can't believe it. A whole basement. And to think I've been sleeping on an old chair. I doubt this base would serve you as a bedroom. It's gloomy down there and quite hot. Not very comfortable for humans, but it suits me perfectly. Knock yourself out. I obviously wasn't using it. That's marvelous news, particularly since I've already moved in. You're quite a heavy sleeper, you know. But I'll make it worthwhile for you. I know you've been trolling town for haggling tips. Have you tried a bit of sleight of hand? It's all about drawing the eye to what you want them to see. Okay, sleight of hand. Raise interest by 10, apply distracted for 1 turn. It's also a closer. So this is actually really helpful because a lot of these more powerful ingredients have bad traits. So it's really good that we have a way to hide that. I'll admit that's not a bad technique. I'll be putting it to use soon. I've no time to lick my wounds and no desire to dwell on my defeat. My potions racket may have gone belly up, but I've got a new venture. One that will make use of my honest talents. Your magnetic personality? And here I thought you were somehow immune to my charms. I meant enchanting, actually. It's the process of using magic to confound and delight the senses. With my abilities, even a drab everyday potion can be elevated into something extraordinary. I can make it taste sweeter, sound better, look more enticing. You can see how that might come in handy, Yeah, that could be the edge I need. Come down and see me sometime, and I'll show you what I've got. Last time I bought something by accident, so I'll try not to do that again. She could at least pay rent. Alright, so we spent a lot on upgrades today. But I think we're in a much better position for unlocking more stuff. Okay, Celebrity Chef Draven has disparaged potions as a source of empty calories. That won't be good for business. Decreased value for basic potions. Gone to ruins. Action archaeologist Fedora has led the Heroes Guild to an overgrown ruin rich with flowers, fungi, and ore. So we can stock up on ingredients for cheap today, but maybe we'll have a hard time selling. So maybe it's a good day to buy stuff and socialize. I've forgotten that I was excavating space underneath the shop. The idea was to make room for more equipment. Use the ladder to check out the basement. I think Roxanne is down there as well. Yes, there's the basement. But first, let's bottle up our brews. Okay, got some very nice greater health potions, but reduced price today. Same goes for the mana potions. Alright, let's look around the shop. quite roomy. Seems like they didn't finish the job, though. Yeah, lava. Probably stopped when they saw lava, or stopped getting payments from Uncle. I'm sure I can get Saffron to help fix it up. Yeah, that's something I neglected to look at last time. There's Roxanne. I like her desk that she's got here. There's not much we can do with this. It's too bad we have a whole loading screen between those two. Who needs logs or kindling when you've got hot lava right in your house? Yeah, I know, right? Well, maybe Saffron will have something to say about it. It's unfortunate we don't have a little more cash on hand. And not a whole lot that would be good to sell right now. Tonics, I suppose. We could just sell a bunch of tonics. So let's plan to replace them. That's a good mix. Only thing wrong with it is we've got a couple of bad traits there. And nothing especially to balance them out. But if we can use some sleight of hand, that won't be too bad. And let's get this down to 3. We'll plan to go out shopping after we sell a round of stuff. Okay, that's the fire tonic. We've kind of got plenty of everything we're capable of making right now. Maybe use some cheap ingredients for sight enhancers. Okay. Okay, let's sell some things and then we can go out shopping. And basic potions are not going to do well today, but sight enhancers, perhaps yes. And the fire tonics. Okay, let's head into the deck builder because, as I recall, closer that raises interest by 10 is flat out better than close it out, even without the distracted buff. So we want to take out a couple close it outs, replace those with sleight of hand. Okay, let's open the shop. I almost slipped on an owl feather. This one might work for me, but I'm not entirely sold yet. Oh, so you'll see the owl feather instead of tripping on it. Good deal. Captivate. Press the attack. Let's scheme. See if we have something to boost reel him in with. Yes. We could maybe even do this all in 1 or 2 turns. Okay, yes. Ooh, so pump up. And enthusiasm, raise interest by 24. We can't do a second one, but we can do reel them in. It was just really expensive to get there. And sleight of hand. And people say I'm hard to please. Thanks, come again. Step right up. I used to buy from your uncle. I see talent runs in the family. I love it. Let's talk money. Okay, you are impatient. And stubborn. Reduces all interest gained by 25%. Plus, you've started with a big shield. Okay, well. Set him up. Press the attack. Oh, reel him in. Perfect. Yeah, the next turn's gonna be rough and you're not gonna have a lot of patience. So let's just sleight of hand close it. It works even better than it looks. Have a nice day. Who's next? Another day, another coin, right? Let's make a deal, but best be quick about it. Okay, busy hero. Reel you in a couple times. My quest clock is ticking and I don't even know if I need this. So you're gonna make me work for it. I'll captivate you. Let's just sleight of hand close it. Not gonna go to the next turn. Gotta run, but thanks. Take care. Who's next? Roxanne. What does the mighty Sylvia have on display today? This one is begging to come home with me. Their technique of avoiding customer faces seems to mean they never quite look directly at Sylvia. Yeah, it's an interesting perspective we've got here. We're definitely on this side of the counter, so it does make some sense that we might not see all of a customer's face, but they do seem to be turned away from us just a little bit more. Cunning socialite. Well, let's scheme. Captivate you. Press the attack. Not much I can do to boost these big interest cards. So we'll just play him. You've never seen a better potion. Got plenty of patience to work with. Are you lonely? Is that what's happening? Okay, well, we better just enthusiasm, color me intrigued, and sleight of hand. This is very useful. Max interest, look at that. Your terms are acceptable. Come back soon. That's all of them for now. She fell for her own fate. Yep. Okay, let's go out shopping. Though actually, let's take shelves with us, just in case Muktuk's got something cool. Ah, I'll have to put that back. That's fine. Okay, let's head out. There's Roxanne. Mint, what you got for me? I hope it's good. I made some progress, but the monsters got the better of me. Mossberries, B and D. That is useful. And purple and blue wood wall, okay. Oh, thank goodness. That should be good. Let's plan my next adventure. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to send you back to Mushroom Mire again. Is there any way I can... just get a good look at what is in each place? It's really unfortunate I don't seem to be able to. Let's give you a sight enhancer. Let's give you 10 HP. You're not going to be able to get past there anyway. You only find out what's where over time. Well, they don't have even just a list of what I've found that I know to be there. Okay, head out. You'll be done in 3 ticks. Baptiste, what have you got? The quest was a success. Here are the spoils. Okay. Malachite ore, I've taken notes on that. Sea salt. These things, okay. What can I invest in? Rotfly adult. Ooh, a strong source of C. Electrocution eel. It's got a bunch of good things. Thunder quartz. Ooh, these are expensive. The big question is... Yeah, all of these are good blends of ingredients for us to be using right now. So let's go ahead and accept that. Okay. Quinn will have useful things. Plus, we have stuff to unlock there. Don't look down. Actually, let's swing by Saffron's before we actually buy anything. Let's unlock all these things. Quinn stock will be updated tomorrow. Excellent. I should have some for sale starting tomorrow. Let's just look at what's here, because, yeah, a lot of things are on sale today. I think we wanted a mud shrimp for something. But let's swing by Saffron's first. My heart gladdens to see you. Basement, additional cauldron available. Okay. I kind of feel like I want to upgrade the shop front first. And I don't have enough gold for either of those right now anyway. Okay, good to know that those are available though. In fact, 600 gold for the basement. Shopfront requires all stuff that we can buy from Saffron, so I'm not worried about it. We've got a fair amount of fuel for now. Let's go back to Quinn's. We need to buy good ingredients to brew good potions so we can sell them and get more gold. You look it, you buy it. Desert metal. What was the base price of that? $25. Okay, so the modifiers are basically multiplying by 2 or half, depending on what they're doing. Which means it's good to stock up on these. Plus anything that I'm just generally using a lot of. Like these sacks of hive slime. And I don't have very much money left. Might as well. Alright. Better go back to the shop and sell some stuff. Well, let's swing by Roxanne, just because we can. Like what I've done with the place? Oh, this looks like we're actually in the basement. Okay. Max of 1 enchantment per day. New ones available tomorrow. Okay. Well, back to the shop, I think. Ta. Okay, pretty good fire tonic, though it's got some negative traits. Common sight enhancer. Well done. Okay. Let's decide what to sell first. About a purple and blue wood wall. That looks kind of nice. Kind of like the warmer colors, though. Sell more potions or sell fewer for a higher price? Since the shop's not big enough to be using both of these yet. Kind of strapped for cash. Let's try just selling more potions for the time being. Well, no. Let's... switch that out. Still a penalty on basic potions. I don't really need the fire tonics for anything else right now. Yeah, let's go back to selling more. Since we are getting enough customers to actually take them all. Okay. That's right. Something I gave to Quinn is something I need to take notes on later. Oh, this is one of them. So moss berries have B and D. We should be able to do something interesting with that. Or maybe not. Well, drowsiness cure. That could do. That takes B and D. And 211 for the poison cure. Yes, this will work. Okay, so ABD, will that work? No, that's ACD. Okay, but ABD. Yeah. So for B and D, we can work on the drowsiness cure. Also Thunder Tonic. Yeah, actually. I know that'll be useful. Okay, let me get my notes down for this. Mossberries. 10B, 20D. Don't know all of its other stats yet. It has no special traits. It is a fruit. And it's from the mushroom mire. So we just need a little bit of B to balance it out. Okay, Thunder Tonics wants 6 brewing slots. Get it down to 2. Okay, now how about that drowsiness cure? Takes A, B, and D. Oh yes, I fed one to Quinn, so we don't have much more than that. So we need 10 of B, and then 20 of A. Okay, that's pretty minor. But it'll at least get us started. Yeah, assuming we have infinite potion supplies, adding the extra slot does work better. Okay, well let's open the shop. Don't think we got anything extra. No, last thing we got was the sleight of hand. Everything else is just everything else. Okay. Need money. I tripped over 3 pirates on my way here. They're always underfoot. Yeah, they're having to face way away from the camera. Can we cut to the chase? Frankly, I'm working too hard. Ah! You want a greater thunder tonic and drowsiness cure. 3 days. Well... Oh, and they've both got to taste good. Well, we'll try. I'm glad that's taken care of. Let's make a deal. Best be quick about it. Nervous and complain. Urgh. Don't take me for a rube. I'm sure if you just give it a chance. Ooh, sleight of hand. Excellent. I'm listening. Yeah, we want sleight of hand for this. What flaw? That must be a trick for the light. Gotta run, but thanks. Come back soon. Come on up. This place is shaping up nicely. This one looks nice. What are you asking for it? Okay, you're kind of impatient. Let's see if I can get to a good closer. I don't want to keep you from your craft any longer than necessary. Nothing especially good. Let's just reel them in and close it out. Take it or leave it. You're the best. Thank you for your business. Next in line. No special treatment for me, I insist. I might go for this one if you can sell me on it. Okay. gonna complain. It's unfortunate. Do you need some administrative help? Do I seem that flustered? Well, we can set him up. Meditate. Enthusiasm. Reel him in. And no need to captivate, we'll just sleight of hand you. Look, it's shiny. It certainly sounds like you know what you're talking about. Ah, happiness, I like how it feels. Come back soon. Can I help you? My day has sucked, don't ask. I have my doubts, but I thought I'd at least ask about this one. Okay. I can tell you like it. Enthusiasm. It doesn't look that special. That's not in line with what I charge. I'm sure if you just give it a chance. Okay, we have sleight of hand, which is very good. Maybe it's not so bad. Okay, sleight of hand. Well, alright then. Have a nice day! That's all of them for now. Okay. Okay, we've got a common thunder tonic. Not a greater one. And that's not something we'll need for this, but we've got a special order for it. Drowsiness cure. Common drowsiness cure, alright. Okay, well that should hopefully be helpful. Well, we want to brew something. Maybe some more sight enhancers. 3, 4, and 3. wanted something that tasted better. Very stable. Okay. And we want to get this down to 2, well, to 3 brewing time. Oh, what else? We don't have any more good sources of D. Maybe just some more simple health potions. Mostly just because they're useful for mint. Oh, no, don't need that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, mint is back. Let's see what she's got. The Ghost Light Bloom! Awesome. And Huckberry, a strong source of A, very nice. Wraith Orchid, a very strong source of D and nothing else. That is perfect. Oh my goodness. That is exactly what we have been needing this whole time. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, so step 1, take some notes on the Puckberry and Wraith Orchid, because I don't have any notes on those yet. Okay, 18 of A and nothing special. Actually, that means I should put it somewhere else in my sheet. But that's okay. I'll rearrange that later. This is a fruit. And it comes from the Mire. And the Wraith Orchid It's 12 of D. That opens up so much stuff. Okay, that's a flower. And also comes from the mire. Okay, so while we're working on an anti-poison for you, we do have a thunder tonic. So let's send you somewhere where that would be useful. Maybe foist some of the nasty tasting stuff on you. You're tough, you can handle it. Let's see. If you need 1 mana per monster, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's give you 3 more mana. Okay, more health. All right. 17. Let's see if 2 common health potions will do it. Okay, that should do it. Costs a fair amount to send you, but yeah, let's send you. All right, well, let's swing by Quinn's, since they can unlock some of this stuff. We'll meet again. I smell something semi-edible. Okay. Those are extremely useful. I should have some for sale starting tomorrow. Okay. I don't want to spend too much money today, so... Baptiste, I don't think is going to have anything till tomorrow. Yeah, no. Okay. Back home then, I think. Now, where did I put that dustpan? Ah, okay. This is another one we've seen before. Hey, sorry to barge in like this. Can I hang out in here for a minute? I'm trying to give somebody the slip. Yeah, of course. I'll put up my closed sign and lock the door behind you. That's good of you. Are you in some kind of trouble? Should I call the guard? It's nothing serious. Just some guy with a camera and no respect for a person's privacy. But hey, this is a cool shop. I dig the whole vibe. Thanks, I'm Sylvia, and this is my place. Right on, Sylvia. I've always been so impressed by potion makers. That's a skill I just don't have. I'm guessing you're some kind of performer? You've got the look. Guessed it in one, yeah, I'm a bard. I've been playing at the Heroes Guild. It's the most fun I've had in ages. Demanding work, though. Heroes get rowdy between quests. Between that, and staying one step ahead of nosy journalists, I'm practically asleep on my feet. Well, you're welcome to rest here as long as you need. I appreciate that, seriously. But it looks like the coast is clear out there. And I've got to get back to the guild hall before Baptiste takes to the stage with his amateur ventriloquism routine. Thanks for letting me hide out. That was cool of you, Sylvia. I hope I'll see you around. She was nice, and clearly juggling too much. I can relate. I bet a mana potion would be just the pick-me-up she needs. Okay, 1 greater mana potion to unlock Zid. Okay. I should have asked for her autograph. Pretty much broke even for the day. Definitely unlocking things, though. I should really learn that automated broom and mop spell. So I suspect that what might have happened here is the writers had already written this dialogue, but the artist didn't decide till later that they wanted to just have animated brooms here as a sight gag. So I'm guessing there's just a little bit of right and the left hand not talking to each other here. Sylvia! Hi, I'm Luna. It is a real pleasure to meet you. That's the warmest welcome I've had in a long time. It's no less than you deserve. I mean, I saw you at the competition. The whole town did. Cool under pressure, knowledgeable and confident. I'm talking about you, FYI. But are you ready to seize the opportunities that your victory is bringing your way? I sense a sales pitch. Ooh, intuitive too. You are the full package, Sylvia. I promise I won't keep you long. I'm here in my capacity as founder and sole proprietor of Rafta's newest, best, and boldest marketing agency. Now, I know what you're thinking. Do I even need marketing, Luna? I'm killing it without resorting to your absurd tricks, Luna. Shut up about marketing and take a day off before you crash and burn, Luna. Well, I'm biased, I know, but I still think marketing is the right choice for your business. Rafta's economy is in constant flux. It's total chaos. At least it appears to be. But getting the right message out there at the right time. TLDR, it gives you an advantage. And I would like to humbly suggest that you enjoy having one of those. Nice change of pace. Being the underdog gets old. I knew you'd see the sense in it. Well, you certainly make a compelling pitch. Aw, thanks. Anyone who's selling anything should refine their elevator pitch, you know? Start strong and the sky's the limit. Elevator pitch, okay. Drawn in opening hand can only be played at start of transaction. Raise interest by 4, apply sympathy for 1 turn. Okay. And can only be played drawn in opening hand. Interesting. So will it never be drawn at any other time then? I can see the wisdom in that. I know, right? So listen, come by my office soon. We'll take chaos in our hands, and we'll squeeze it and smother it and crush it, Sylvia. We'll crush it. It'll be fun, I promise. Or maybe she doesn't know how to control them completely, a la Mickey. Well, she's controlling them better than Mickey Mouse ever did. I'll say that. Okay. Boogie Boozy. Trendsetting heiress Rosalie has endorsed tasty potions as the perfect chaser to take the edge off a shot of alcohol. The good taste trait has more impact. Ooh. Tunnel Visionaries. Clearing out a cave that leads into the heart of the steppe has given heroes easier access to the region and a speedier escape route. Increased loot drops and ingredients will cost less. Ocean coasts regulated. Due to overharvesting concerns, Baptiste is placing new restrictions on questing upon the ocean. Heroes are temporarily limited in how much they can take from the area. Okay. Well, we've got a custom order, which we should be able to fill. (101), 144. Greater mana potion. Go. Unlock Zid. Okay. So many feathers. I wonder if owls ever go bald. That was amazing. Sylvia, you are one talented witch. Whoa, where did you come from? Nice theme music, too. I'm traveling in style these days. Makes it easier to avoid nosy journalists without having to duck into random shops. Although I'm awfully glad I ducked into yours. The potion you sent me was out of this world. I'm glad you liked it. Did I ever? My vocal cords are still thrumming with energy. I even mesmerized a heckler in the middle of my set. I feel like I could take on a monster. Maybe you should put that to the test? I hear the guild is recruiting. And you think I have what it takes to go out there and be a hero? I'm not sure. Making music is my calling. It's who I am. But I'll admit the idea has me intrigued. I'm Zid, by the way. I should have introduced myself before. Nice to meet you officially, Zid, although I suddenly can't shake the feeling that I know you from somewhere. Well, you might actually. My stage name is Zidriel. Wait, no. Are you the Zidriel? Superstar singer Zidriel? One and the same, but keep it under wraps if you don't mind. I'm trying to keep a lower profile these days. You're doing a good job. I don't think I would have seen through your disguise. Funny to think of this look as a disguise. This is the real me. From my point of view, Zidriel feels more like the disguise. My usual look is calculated for mass appeal. Bottle blonde hair, lip gloss, and a very reasonable number of piercings. Turns out, left to my own devices, I've got a freak flag that needs to be flown. The fact that people don't recognize me is a nice bonus. And the guy you were avoiding the other day... paparazzo chasing a rumor. Thanks to you, he didn't get a good look at me. So for now, I'm flying under the radar. I get the enjoyment of playing music for the Heroes Guild, without the pressure that comes from being known, I guess. Well, your secret is safe with me. I had a feeling, Sylvia. You've just got one of those faces. And your gift was so thoughtful. I didn't like the idea of lying to you after that. You should come by the guild hall sometime. We could hang out. Until then, stay cool. Okay. And it's still early morning. Excellent. Got some greater health potions. Common sight enhancers. Okay. This person wants greater thunder tonic and drowsiness cure. Well, let's see. We've actually got some decent sources of D at this point. What I really want is a poison cure. So we'll have something to give to Mint for a proper mushroom mire run. 211. ACD. That's too much A. Luckily, we can just fill it out with the cheap stuff. Okay, poison cure, finally. And what else shall we make? We can try making a better thunder tonic. We don't have very much for it. So I'm kind of inclined not to. So 112, yeah, the one ghost light bloom is not going to do much by itself unless you need a lot of A to go with it. Is there anything that needs D and a lot of A? Could be part of an ice tonic. If you had some orchids to go with it. And we do need that for the competition. Okay. Alright, well we can't make anything with D in it for practical selling purposes right now. We can sell a bunch of potions. Let's make some mana potions. Still about the best we can do. Let's experiment a bit. Three, another 2. Okay. let's bring it down to 2. Time slots, go. And yeah, let's check who's available to travel to. But I don't think Mint's gonna be ready yet. Yes, not yet. So we won't leave the shop yet. Let's arrange some stuff for sale. We don't have price penalties on things anymore. We'll sell potions for even more than usual. So let's take advantage of, well, we don't have any that taste any better. The mana potions would sell for even more. Okay, that's a good spread, I think. Since I'm not actually selling any tonics, will it do better to have this in the showcase? No harm in trying it. Okay, let us open the shop. Actually, first, deck builder. Zidriel, Bardic Hero. Inspired in part by Sylvia's potions and encouragement, Zid has become a sanctioned adventurer with the Heroes Guild. Okay, no cards from Zid yet, though. And we have the elevator pitch. Raise interest by 4 and apply sympathy. Whereas Set 'em Up raises interest by 4 and works with Reel 'em In. I feel like the elevator pitch might be a little better since it applies to everything, not just that one card. This makes us less dependent on Reel 'em In. Is there anything we could replace that with? Already using enthusiasm. Already using press the attack. Let's try this. Okay, open the shop. Another day, another coin, right? Can we cut to the chase? I wish I had more time to browse, but this should suit my needs. Ah, maybe I only ever need one of these. You and this potion? A love story. Not a total waste of my time, I guess. Alright, let's end this turn. He's gonna stress us out, but that's okay. We didn't have time to be choosy. No need to get personal, right? Ooh. Pump up. And enthusiasm. Reel him in. And close the deal. No refunds. Gotta run, but thanks. Thanks, come again. Who's next? I love mornings. So much possibility ahead of us. Ooh, are you back from questing? I bet this would come in handy, right? Yeah, I only need one of these in my deck. Picture it, deliciousness plus magic. Got a lot I could say about this one. Yeah, and I can't play this other one. Let's run it for one more turn. Sylvia, I've got to get back out there. There's monsters, Sylvia. Anxious to get questing. Okay, we'll captivate you. Scheme for closers? Oh, no. $11 and $11. Oh, but that will not run us out if I use Captivate. 22, but 24 here, yeah. So, enthusiasm. And close the deal. Deal. Look out, monsters. Thanks for your business. Who's next? Do you ever get used to the smell? I'm here for something very specific. It may be made to my specifications. A common ice tonic, maybe. That's more doable than the other stuff. We'll see. From humble origins, this potion has achieved greatness. Okay. End the turn. Where's the express checkout lane? I can see you're in a hurry. Okay. Oh, we can captivate you. Pump up. And enthusiasm. Still got plenty of patience to work with. You're expecting too much for this. I'm sure if you just give it a chance. Okay, well at least we have a closer. 7. Okay, but we want to play that before the close. Pump up. And close it out. And people say I'm hard to please. Thanks for your business. Step right up. I used to buy from your uncle. I see talent runs in the family. I want to spend some money if that's all right with you. I hope this proves I have some sense. The daredevil you know. Oh, all right. That's easy enough. Awesome. I love it. Let's talk money. Okay, elevator pitch. Yeah, that's actually pretty great to open with. Yeah, let's meditate. Must project calm. This isn't one of those traps where I finally walk outside and I've said too much for the narrator to read, and Let's see. Probably finish it in this round. Oh, yeah. Reel them in. Okay. We only have time for one more reel them in. And then sleight of hand. Look, it's shiny. Take care. Ah, money. That is a good amount of money. Okay, greater mana potion, superb brew. And common poison cure. Finally. Ooh, alright, well, let's see. You want greater health and mana potions. Oh, but they've got to have good sensation. Okay, well, we can work towards that. Let's see what we've potentially got for that around here. Okay, well, all we need to do is include some of that stuff, but it also has to be high enough rank, which is tricky. That's a 4. No, these are off by 6, so we should adjust with this. That's not going to take us to greater, though. Let's see what we can do about a mana potion that fits that way. Because we were just making some very nice mana potions. Let's see. Will that do it? With the bonus stars should do it. You want some fuel for this? Yeah, let's take it down to 2. We'll be out shopping, we can get some more fuel. So let's see if that'll do there. Can't do the health potion to those specifications. But is there something else we might have a good use for? We've kind of got a lot of everything right now. We've even got plenty to sell. It's probably better to sit on our good ingredients for a while. Maybe just brew something standard so we have something to give to adventurers. Just with the cheap stuff. Or with something that doesn't taste too great. Yeah, that'll take it up to common. It'll be decent for adventuring. Okay. Let's bring the shelf with us. I'm not sure what we'll have with us. Can we go see Mint? Yes, we can go see a lot of people. Okay, let's see Mint first. The more storm clouds overhead, the more silver linings you can see. Oh, look at all this good stuff. Thunderbird's molted feather. C and E. If caught before it touches the ground, this shed feather retains a small amount of magic. Nice. Okay, well, let's take notes on that. Long name. Thunderbirds. Molted feather. That's got 30 and 10 of C and E. Nothing else special, which is kind of nice. Slightly odd that it counts as flesh, but okay. Copper dollop. I did take notes on that earlier. Saw it in the old save file. No idea what I can do with it yet, though. Spriggan antler. I think I saw that too. Yeah. Thunder quartz. Should have info on that as well. No, not yet, unless I wrote it down from before. No, I did not, so I better do it now. That is 30, 10, and 20. Okay, that's a gem. comes from the storm plains. And thunder logs. We needed that for some upgrade. Okay. Thank you much. Ooh, where should I go today? Well, I have a splendid idea. You can finally do a full clear of the mushroom mire. And you're probably going to want to see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 5. You're going to want a little more mana. And some amount of health. Let's foist one of the cheap ones on you. 17, 17. Let's test. Oh, you're gonna want a better mana potion, okay. 144. This is 114, okay. Okay, and you've got a free slot, so let's give you a cheap sight enhancer. So that you'll bring back more loot. Okay, go! Alright, hammer time! Okay, Baptiste's Heroes Guild. You all should be back from some kind of adventure. The quest was a success. Here are the spoils. Okay, one each of those things. Where are you going next? These are also things I have not seen before. C and D. Loads of A. And loads of D. My gosh, yes. We need all of these things. In fact, I'm going to ask you for 2 of those because it would be nice to have a little more to work with. And in fact, I shall also take some notes because these are things I will want to know about. Raiju droppings. Is that like a kaiju? If you're just joining us, welcome. I am taking my time taking copious notes because I have learned that in order for me to play this game effectively, I need to take notes. I have a spreadsheet. So, settle in. Okay, we have Raiju droppings, whatever the heck a Raiju is. An argument for wearing shoes. Insulated shoes, oh dear. Well, it's a Storm Plains thing, so I guess that makes sense. We have 30 of C and 10 of D. Well done. That is an essence from the Storm Plains. Storm. Okay, the Fairy Flower Bloom. Yeah, I kind of feel like there's probably going to be an element of figuring out kind of midweek what the really powerful ingredients are and then saving up enough to make those few really good potions. And I need to be very careful not to use them for other things. This is just 20 of A. And good aroma. That is a flower from the shadow step. Okay, and now we have this salt watermelon. As fruits go, this one could be sweeter. But it has 40 of D and nothing else, which is actually pretty sweet. It has unpleasant visual, though. Weird. I guess it does look kind of gross. That is a fruit from the coast. Okay, note taking over. At least for now. Let's see what they find out there. Okay. Okay, well, let's swing by Zid since we're here. Fare thee well. If we can send 2 adventurers to dungeons at a time, that is kind of amazing. Hey, Sylvia, you found me. Nice music again. I was hoping you would, because I've got news. Big news. Momentous, life-changing news. How's that for hype? My manager would be so proud. I'm definitely curious. I'll cut right to it. I've been thinking about how supercharged I was on your potion, and about how you said that I might have what it takes to be a hero. So I decided to give it a shot. I've officially joined the Heroes Guild. Won't you miss singing, or you'll have more fun? Yeah, you'll have fun. You'll have more fun as a hero. Fighting monsters sounds way more exciting than performing in a guild hall. Oh, well, it's not quite the spin I meant to put on it. Well, hold on. I'm not hanging up my instrument or anything. Oh, interesting. I'm pretty sure they probably didn't mean to have this animation loop. There's probably a held pose that she's supposed to settle in after this. Oh well. The heroing is more of a side gig. It might seem completely disconnected from my music career, but that's not really true. Oh, adventuring bards are a long tradition, you'll be fine. All of the most popular songs are about heroic exploits, after all. Oh, is that what the kids are calling it these days? You have to figure that having a few exploits of my own will help me connect with the material, help me sell the emotion behind it. What about romantic exploits? Or just sounds like a good idea? Sounds like a good idea. You've clearly thought this through. What can I say? I take my career seriously. I'm kind of picking up that there's a dating sim element to this. I can clearly be flirty with people. I'm just not kind of feeling the vibe that I want to particularly flirt with anyone. Hello, Reliable Battles. Welcome to my extremely meticulous potion making adventure. And let's give you a shout out here. I'm always afraid I'll misspell something. Reliable Battles likes to stream games that you do not have to be super meticulous about, but Potionomics, as I discovered last time, I had to be a little more meticulous than I was being. So we are actually... What I did at the beginning of this stream is rewind a few days, because I feel like I had spent a few days just kind of floundering. And we have a lot more useful things unlocked at this point. Alright, both of them, I guess. Both careers. I had to convince Baptiste I could balance everything before he'd agree to this arrangement. Lucky for me, I can be pretty persuasive. How'd you win him over? Same as always. I made my case in the form of a song. Oh yeah, that animation is probably bugged. They probably meant to settle on the end pose. Kind of like every other animation of the game works. The guild's got a singer, a real go-getter. Her shows are great, but they'd be better if she were a hero, so come on, won't you let her? Once he started humming that to himself, I knew I had him. Maybe that's a lesson you can use. The surest way to win people over is with a little jingle. Ooh, a jingle. Next card played costs 2 patience less. Ooh, I like that. Pair that with enthusiasm. Enthusiastic jingle, that'd be good. I'll keep it in mind during my own song and dance. Good. After all, merchants are performers too. At least the good ones are. I'm glad you dropped in on me, Sylvia, and I hope you'll keep me in mind for all your heroing needs. I'm green, but I'm eager. Oh, and I'm affordable too. Now that's music to my ears. More importantly, you have your own cooldown track. Hey, what's new? Yeah, actually, Reliable Battle, since you're around, why don't I just show you briefly what this spreadsheet looks like. In fact, some of this is due for a little bit of rearrangement. I do need some price data for some of this, but this is basically a list of everything I've found. And it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, I could go to the wiki and look this up, but if I did that, I'd see a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have seen yet. Can I drag this? Yes. Drag this all... Oh, I don't even have a category for D by itself yet. Never mind. That's how much progress we've made. However, I can move Puckberry up here. It's 18, isn't it? Yeah. Just all this stuff. It really reminds me of, like, playing Rogue, actually. My whole family worked on our cheat sheet for that game. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's get us back to the game. Yeah, you've done the same with games before? Oh man. I was playing World of Warcraft back when we were using spreadsheets for figuring out our damage rotations. Thankfully, I didn't have to make the spreadsheet myself, because there was one that everyone just used. But, like, this was a spreadsheet with macros. You had to run the macros for it to work. Because you weren't just working with straight numbers, you were working with, like, things that have a chance to proc, so it was working that in and... Interesting. That's very interesting. How about bone waste? It'll be an experience for sure. Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Okay, you will have enough mana. You will need health. And I want to give you a fire tonic. Do I have any more fire tonics? No. Take this. You're gonna need a fair amount of health. Let's test. Oh, you're actually level 7. I wonder if Mint will have more potion tolerance once Mint levels up. Let's see. Well, I don't know how much stuff from the bone waste I actually need, but there might be some stuff there I haven't found yet, so just in case, why don't you go? And we'll send a sight enhancer with you too, just to make sure you find everything you possibly can. Okay, head on out. Especially for cheap. Rock on. Okay, we've been to Baptiste. Let's go see Luna. See what she's up to. Thanks for dropping in. Purchase marketing plans. Marketing packages trigger on the next day. Ooh. Now that means I may have a marketing plan. I won't know what events are happening until the next day. Temporarily increases the base price of fire tonics. Well, I just got rid of a bunch of fire tonics. I have some. I guess I could make more. Could be something to try. Why don't you sleep on it? You know, I think I will. Doing a hangout might be fun. We've got stuff brewing, so I've got time for some kind of hangout with somebody. But let's finish our shopping first. Come back soon! It's a cute little phone. You're welcome here. I think you'll like what we can accomplish. Okay, yeah, let's expand the front of the shop. All I need to do is buy some stuff from you first. And in fact, we could use a fair amount of things. Okay, yeah, let's do it. You'll hardly recognize it when I'm done. Because we are brewing potions faster than we're selling them. Alright, well, let's go see Quinn. Unlock some more stuff. Let's maybe hold off on more upgrades for a while we get our stock of really good ingredients set up. Look at all that stuff. Okay. Should have some for sale starting tomorrow. Okay, for now, let's see what we can do. Good things, I think. Definitely want some of those. Oh, and this means I can start to take notes on the base prices of items and how much Quinn has. Quinn has 10 a day of Wraith Orchids. That means I should now consider this a fairly common thing, which is actually kind of amazing. Like, finally we have a decent source of D. Okay, Quinn's daily limit of this is 10 for a base cost of 19. As for the Ghostlight Bloom, that is 4 and 28 each. I have to scroll up a bit for that. The moss berries are 10 at 35 each. Okay, and that other stuff we've seen before. So, all 10? Not all 10. Just 5 for now. I wish I could buy them all, but let's get some other strong stuff too. We need to start considering the other stuff that will go with it. Oh, I can filter by where the stuff comes from. We'll display all ingredients in your inventory from the Mushroom Mire category. Okay, so we can see which things come from which places here, which is nice. We don't have anything from the Shadow Step in stock yet. These things are all very expensive. Thankfully, a lot of them... Well, I could have some use for bogey berries. I would like a filter for... Oh, sort by total magiments. Thank you. That's useful. Sort total value. Okay, alright, well, that's useful. Bogey berries. Oh, I need Quinn's info on some of these. Even the ones I can't buy, I can still save the data. So let's see. Bogey berries. I'd love to start getting some of those. Bogey berries. Quinn has 10 a day of them. Base cost is 30. Okay. Sea salt. I don't have much use for sea salt yet. I suppose I could save the note-taking for the recording, but might as well do it while I know what I'm doing. Malachite ore. Oh, but the sea salt is not actually using its base price right now. So we don't actually... I'd have to double check the math on it. Okay. Mandragon roots. It's got 10 each of... Got 10 each of those a day. Those are expensive right now, though, so I'd rather not. Okay. Alright, well, we don't have a whole lot of money left to work with. Let's get a couple of bogey berries. The moss berries have been useful, and they're not too expensive. Let's go with that for now. We'll be back for more, I bet. Yeah, probably. Okay, we should be able to fit a hangout with someone in here, or at least a short hangout. Let's hang out with Luna. I'm intrigued. This is where the magic happens. Maybe just a short break. Coffee break. Boosts relationship slightly and relieves a bit of stress. Does Luna need more coffee? I'm not sure Luna needs more coffee. But let's go with it. A break would be nice. Just around the corner from Luna's office, there's a cafe with ample outdoor seating. Luna orders a double espresso with syrup. Sylvia opts for something a bit more watered down. While they wait for their drinks, Luna leans back in her seat and lets out a deep sigh. She seems, for once, to be relaxed. Say, I'm a little peckish. You want to split a sweater? You're a moth. You're literally a moth eating a sweater. Sylvia feels a little closer to Luna and mildly less stressed. Okay, that was fun. Okay, we could rank up, but let's go home. Actually, no, let's swing by Muktuk. See if there's... We don't have money for anything, but I just kind of want to see what he has. Oh, Sylvia, you brighten my day. Shelf upgrades. Okay, yeah, I could improve the Stormplains shelf, but I am out of money. That is okay. And I have the logs, so we'll do that later. Anything interesting? Nothing you didn't have before. Okay. Back home, I think. There's not much else I can do out here with no more gold. Okay, we've got more shelves, which means I don't need to choose between one shelf or the other anymore. I can use them both. You done brewing? I hope so. I may have misjudged things. Common health potions. Okay. Nothing spectacular. Superb brew. Ah, and that'll work for the special order. Oh, I can even turn this in. Huh, it's funny. I have a couple things that'll work. Well, use the cheaper one. Since we can't haggle for these. Ah, money. Okay, well, we can start to try... Okay, one person wants common fire and ice tonics. If we can make a common ice tonic with what we have, that will work. Probably safer than trying for those right away. What have we got? A and D. What did you want? Needs to be at least common. We want a really good greater one for the competition. Four. Oh, we can use ghost light blooms for these. That's too much A, though. Okay, well, this is using a lot of ingredients, but it'll be really high quality. We can let this brew for 4 time slots. I don't know that it'll be good enough for the competition. But we're certainly getting close to that. And we now have the ingredients available to us. Alright, well, we've used up all our lovely D ingredients. Maybe it's time to make some more fire tonics, since we are getting at least some good use out of them. Oh, that needed to have a special trait. Okay, well, rats. What do we have in terms of a fire tonic with those traits? Do we have such a thing? No, but we can probably make one. I'm not used to having to pay attention to those. And it needs to be aroma. Center one. A and C with good aroma. And it needs to be at least common. That's A. balance it the rest of the way. Get 8 more of C. That might be that's a bit much. Actually, this will work. At least very close to it. Need 4 more of C. Actually, spring and antler. Need a lot more of A to balance that, though. Very stable, but still not quite. Get a little more C in there without disrupting things. Maybe we can just cut out the unicorn horn altogether. Okay, so it'll be at least common, which is all we need. Good aroma. And even a little bit better than that. And it'll brew for 4. Go! Okay, well, let's get another round of selling in if we can. Okay, highest value at the top. What were the effects on for today? Ocean coasts are regulated. Shadow step. Bonuses. The good taste trait has more impact. We have nothing that has a good taste, but we can hide the stuff with a bad taste. Maybe that goes along with it. Let's give a bigger bonus to the... Oh, well. We want a bigger total. Let's see, 131. Yeah, 127. Nice of it to show us. Got loads of health potions, too. 103, 91, 81. Yeah, those cheap ones we can foist off on adventurers. Let's keep our amounts of those roughly equal. Okay, let's get to the deck builder because I don't need 2 elevator pitches. That is useless. Better to bring in another set 'em up or even play around with jingle instead. I like that. Okay, nothing new from anyone else, I don't think. Okay, let's fit in a round of haggling. And we've got 7 things set out. In fact, do we have our best things for display? Looks like we do. I figure that's what's drawing people in. Okay. Open the shop. So let's see how many people come in. If it's not 7 people, that may be an indication that marketing is a good idea. What is that smell? On second thought, don't tell me. I don't even recognize the ingredients that went into this. Okay. Elevator pitch must be played first, which kind of reduces the value of Captivate if it's in my first draw, but that's okay. There's a good story behind this one. Are you sure gouging me is a good business move? I'm doing my best. Well, we can meditate. Got a lot of options here. Okay, pump up and enthusiasm. This one is my pride and joy. Yeah, okay, maybe. Reel them in. And let's just go ahead and close it out. So, what do you say? You got yourself a sale. Come back soon. Can I help you? I love supporting a family business. Make me an offer I can't refuse. Okay, that's 1. I'm gonna start tallying. Okay, elevator pitch. You and this potion, a love story. Next card played costs 2 patience less. Okay. That fine concoction looks ready for auction. They're gonna force me to draw stress and they're gonna complain. Well, alright. We're supposed to look out for one another. Customer's always right. Right? Down to 0. Okay. Well, Reel 'em in is more expensive in terms of patience. So let's boost that one. Press the attack. Pump up. You're gonna complain a lot. Let's just finish it up. Look, it's shiny. Thanks, come again. Step right up. Okay, that was 2. Busy craftsman has no time for pleasantries. Elevator pitch. Customer loses an additional 1 patience per turn. Well, alright. Let us scheme. And let's just close it. Gotta run, but thanks. Take care. Who's next? That was 3. Hello, Saffron. Lots of noise outside and not a single bird. I came into town hoping to find just such a potion. Okay, greater health potion. It's got some negative traits. Well, just 1. Picture it, deliciousness plus magic. Okay, yes. Pump up first, then reel them in. And this turn, we've still got plenty of patience to work with. Is there a discount for kindred spirits? Serenity, don't fail me now. Hey, meditate! Exactly what we asked for. 7 and 10. Alright, so let's reel them in. Pump up. And sleight of hand. What flaw? Must be a trick of the light. Thank you, I'm quite happy with this. Reasonable amounts of money. That was 4 customers. Step right up. This town is really growing fast. Make me an offer I can't refuse. Okay, elevator pitch. Deliciousness plus magic and captivate. Plenty of patience to work with. Got some stress though. Ooh. Jingle. Free scheme. Let's scheme some more. Pump up. Reel them in. Press the attack. Can't make much use of it, so we'll just pump up and close it out. Take it or leave it. Okay, that was 5. Take care. Can I help you? I waved to you on the street yesterday, but I guess you didn't see me. I have my doubts, but I thought I'd at least ask about this one. Elevator pitch. Captivate. Scheme. Maybe we'll finish this all up in one hand. Well, maybe not. I do want to really use sleight of hand on this one, though. So, don't need to bother, really, with the jingle. Let's just reel them in. And sleight of hand. What flaw? It must be a trick of the light. That's all of them for now. Ah, okay. So I did not get quite as many customers as the potions I had set out. I wonder what rich people do at night. The answer is probably not sweeping. You're not sweeping either. Have you heard what people are saying about Corsac? Ah, yes. So we didn't rewind quite enough to see Corsac's introduction again, but he is going to be our rival for the next potion competition. That he's recognized my superiority and wants to drop out of the competition? Not quite. They're saying he single-handedly wrestled a sandworm into submission, then surgically removed its vestigial heart before releasing it back into the wild. My goodness. Wow. There's more. The next day, he stalked a cyclopean hare back to its burrow, where he sung it into a sleep so deep he was able to remove 3 cavity-ridden teeth while it slept. Okay, congratulations. You are the only person I have ever seen use the word cyclopean who was not H.P. Lovecraft or directly referencing him. Well done. The hare had been attacking travelers, but liberated from tooth decay, it's now docile as could be. In summary, he's strong, he's brave, and he never takes a life unless he has to. He doesn't even pluck a flower unless he can plant 2 seeds to take its place. Well, that's great. In fact, it gives me an idea. You want to watch the counter while I go wrestle sandworms? I hope you jest. Oh, I jest real hard. There's no way I can hunt down my own ingredients. Perhaps not, but there are avenues you've yet to explore. I wouldn't admit this to just anyone, but I do maintain some of my shadier contacts, including a pair of merchants with wares you can't find anywhere else. And if they happen to sell those wares to an interested consumer directly from the docks, then they are able to avoid Rafta's rather tedious import taxes and pass the savings on to you. You're talking about smuggling. Well, they are pirates, darling. You should go and meet them before passing judgment. Look for salt and pepper. I'm sure a clever thing like you will be able to discern who is who. I didn't understand half of what Luna said. Probably didn't get the acronyms. Okay, well, we earned a bunch of money today. We were able to sell a bunch of those health and mana potions. Day 14. I could swear I just cleaned these floors. You kinda did last night. It's your lucky day, Sylvia. Hi, Quinn. Your sad, solitary spinsterhood is finally at an end. I'm sorry, what? I'm not any of those things. You know that, right? Fine. But I think we can agree that this shop needs some more life, and I've got just the thing. I found a rescue animal, and I think your shop would be her perfect forever home. What, really? I don't know, Quinn. I've already got Owl lurking around here somewhere, and there's so much on my plate right now. Well, I can't keep her. Boxer's too territorial. Besides, it's sort of a done deal. I already set her up outside. And I don't think you'll have much luck moving her. For a mimic, Vendi is a big girl. I've never had a mimic before. Mimics are the best. They're territorial, mostly stationary, surprisingly vicious. But even by mimic standards, Vendi is especially awesome. She's basically a vending machine with teeth. A vending machine could be useful. Yeah, no kidding. You've only got so many shelves. You want to make some room? Sell a potion at a fixed price? Skip all the hassle? You just put that potion in Vendi, sit back, and relax. Okay, you've won me over, but I'm putting Vendi to work. That's good. She was born for this kind of work. I've never seen a mimic so unlikely to dismember someone. I hope you're right about that. Yeah, well, maybe keep an eye out for fingernails in her droppings, just to be sure. Aha, so this is something that was in Reciteer as well. In Reciteer, you could replace some of your shelves with vending machines, and it basically worked the same way. You could load stuff into them that would sell at their base price without any opportunity to haggle. So they're good for getting rid of cheap stuff that's not worth taking the time to haggle for. Or if there's stuff that is suffering a penalty that day, then you might still sell it from the vending machine. So what are today's events? It's the humidity. After a particularly muggy few days, moisture-loving plants, fruits, and slimes are all thriving and extra squishy. Those things will cost less. Tunnel Visionaries, okay. Shadow Step's still a good place to go. Hunter's Festival. This holiday has grown beyond its original purpose and now honors all kinds of providers, from farmers and fishers to parents and caretakers. Increase in customers. Haggle customers will start with sympathy debuff and increased value for tonics. Okay, well, we're not too long until 6, and because I'm spending more time on things, I think it's probably prudent to wrap up early, but let's take a look at things. So yes, we have 1 potion unsold. So attracting more customers into the shop is now something that's worth actually spending effort on. Let's see. Arranging potions includes Vendi. Place a potion in the vending machine to sell at a fixed 15% markup from its base price. Well, no need to count customers. Oh, well, because I'll just know. Well, all right, but yeah. So suppose there was a penalty on health potions today, for example. I could, if I had a bunch of extra health potions, I could just throw them in the vending machine for the day, and someone might still buy one for its base price plus 15% markup. But hey, it's good that we brewed some tonics for today, isn't it? Where is Vendi? Well, there she is. Sitting outside there. Looks good. Okay, well, we basically made up for the lost time, but we're in a much better position in terms of what ingredients we've unlocked. So let's see. Any custom orders? No, not till we empty the potion cauldrons at the very least. So I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here. So, hope nobody minds too much taking a step back and regrouping. I certainly feel a lot better about how things are going now. And let's head to the stream over screen. Much better progress. Yeah, it's way better than it was. This is one of those games where if you know what direction to push progress at the very beginning, it snowballs. You know, with Stardew Valley, I already knew which directions to go first. I knew things like, here are the things you want to get done quickly so that you know, their cooldowns will be running. You knowing from the beginning that you got to build the silo before you build the chicken coop because it just works better. All those kinds of things. With Potionomics, first time playing, not going to know all that from the beginning, so still feeling it out. So let's see who is around to raid. Let's see. Is anyone else playing Potionomics? Okay, well, someone who's much farther ahead than I am. Can't tell how far in Eco Cane is here, so let's just raid and you can find out and slip away if there are spoilers. Yes, you have a good night too, Reliable Battles. We can all say hi to Eco Cane, and or Eco Cane, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And if there are spoilers that you want to avoid, you can just say hi and leave, or you can stick around. So, as usual, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next week.